Hello, my fellow Africans, heroes of change all over the world. You are welcome to my channel. My name is Abraham Klutsey. Today, I want to take you through my life journey from childhood dream up to where I am now and what I'm doing now, which many of you might have already known as being a conflict mediator. Before my primary education, I had a dream of becoming a soldier because anytime I saw soldiers marching in their uniform, I really admired it so much. So I wanted to become a soldier. And then when I moved to secondary school, my dream also changed again when I started admiring medical doctors, and even most of my colleagues thought I was going to finally become a medical doctor. That was from the first year, second year, but by getting to the third year of my secondary education, I also had some encounter with some people in the aviation industry. I had some friends who were working with the Ghana Airways who told me about how awesome the job of a pilot was. So quickly, being in the air, flying planes also became my number one dream then. So from there, I went to the University of Ghana. Mindset of studying something or studying a related program that will eventually take me to the aviation industry. So I applied and was offered the mathematical science to study as a program. And under that program, I got the opportunity to study mathematics, physics, statistics, and computer science. In level 100, I was fully focused on studying the subject I was given in order to continue to the next institution or the school where I could study piloting. But by the time I got to level 200, I started observing activities of student politicians, how they will come around and speak about their care for students' rights and how they wanted to lead us, how they wanted to help us to fight for our rights from the schools, authorities, and other things. So I got a little bit, I got interested in what they were doing. So I started getting closer to them. I got myself involved in a number of student protests. I got myself involved in student activism in terms of I was a member of the Legon Hall Congress, which is just we ourselves calling ourselves student representatives from the various blocks in the hall. From there, I also contested for the National Union of Ghana Students President, which I lost anyway. And then I also joined the University of Ghana Parliament House. I was doing all of these things because first of all, it was leading my interest and also to develop my skills of communications in order to speak on behalf of people, in order to speak for people. So that was how I got interested in activities of social work. So that affected my dream of becoming a pilot. So when I finished the school, I got a very good job as a manager of a private institution. The salary was very good, but I still have the desire in me to do something bigger that will directly affect the lives or change the lives of millions of people across the continent or probably across the globe. I was looking at so many things that were heavily affecting the livelihood of people. In 2013, one major issue struck me. That was violent conflicts or civil war or any other violent activities that was actually affecting development in all kinds of sectors, economic, social, and politics, everything. So I was looking at what I could do in order to contribute towards a stable society whereby people wouldn't be losing their lives and properties during civil war or conflict or violent conflict. So I quickly looked at how, first of all, the approach had been in terms of preventing and resolving conflict from the state security institutions, from the government and other international organizations. And I saw that there was a very huge shortfall in their approaches. I saw that in terms of collecting information that will assist them in coming out with a solution to resolve conflicts. The procedures were not all that effective, and for that matter, they were not able to have access to credible information in order to resolve conflict once and for all. I also realized that the commitment or the will in preventing and resolving conflicts was not all that clear. So that was also something that I saw. And thirdly, I realized that there was no program or system that put citizens or locals of a particular community in a way that they will also be able to, they will also be able to contribute towards their own safety and security in their own communities. So I thought around all that. There are some things that also threatens me. There was increase in threat of violent and bloody conflict across the whole world, but I looked at the whole of Africa and I was so scared. Another thing I realized was that the rate at which the youth are being engaged destructively in violent and bloody activities in terms of insurgency, in terms of terrorism, in terms of elections, and all kinds of things was going very high. I also realized that the dangers and the complications of preventing these violent activities in conflict, in elections, and other things were overwhelming the efforts and the interventions of the state security agencies, and the international organizations. There was a huge gap. Yes, I could have decided to turn away and just continue with my job as I was doing. But I said that no. This thing, if no one is doing it and I have a clearer vision or a clearer understanding of the problem, I think I have to lead that change So based on that, I founded an organization and registered an organization called Youth for Peace and Security in Africa, which was registered in 2012. So I started spreading the ideas of engaging citizens and building their systems around some part of their country. And then in 2013, the issues of one major conflict, which had been there since 1913, the Northern Alabama conflict in the Volta region, started coming up again about how violent clashes had resumed and people were being butchered and killed. So all kinds of things. I said, okay, I was going to use that conflict or that situation as a way to prove the effectiveness of the system or the concepts of engaging citizens in preventing and resolving their own conflicts would be so effective. So in 2013, I had to resign from my job because I needed time to stay in the community in order to understand the various fears or the various aspects of the factors driving the conflict. And because it was also a new idea, getting funding from some institutions was not going to be easy. So I had to rely on my own savings, which later, which was consumed, and I had to resort to selling my properties in. See how effective the idea of using citizens or locals of a particular community to prevent and resolve their own conflicts. Yes, I stayed in the communities of Alaba and Nkonya for over a year, trying to understand the factors driving the conflict, which I will be explaining in terms of how they vary, in terms of interest, concern, fear, and threats, how they vary as internal and external, how they vary from an individual to family to group, how as a conflict mediator, how you are supposed to analyze all of these things and sort them out in order to build a homegrown or a local solution in order to prevent and resolve the conflict completely. Since we'll be talking in this series of be a hero of change in your community series, we shall be talking about understanding conflict resolution. I will use that episode to explain or to discuss with you what goes into conflict prevention. You get to understand the kinds of classification of variations in the factors that drive conflict, as I learned not only from reading books but on the field with you. I want to end today's section here. Please, if you have any question, kindly go into the comment and ask. I shall read all comments and answer them. And also, this is the book that contains my story as I went and stayed in Alaba and Nkonya community for over a year to resolve that conflict or to build a lasting peace for the conflict. Please go in description section and click on the link that takes you straight to the book on Amazon.com platform and purchase a copy. You can be buying it because you want to enjoy the story or just to support our vision towards making Africa safer for better development. Thank you. Be safe out there. Remember to share this video, like it and comment, and subscribe as well.